Okay, so I have one of my bosses is here that I used to ride for, and he became a good friend because he's waited a year for this song, and I just learned it about a half hour ago. So this is to you, JR. It's called "Love at the Five and Dime." Rita was 16 years, hazel eyes and chestnut hair. She made the Woolworth counter shine. And Eddie was a sweet romancer and a darn good dancer. They'd waltz the aisles at the Five and Dime. Eddie played the steel guitar, and his mama cried as he played in the bars. Kept young Rita out late at night. So they married up in Abilene, lost a child in Tennessee. Oh, but still that love survived. And they'd sing, dance a little closer to me, dance a little closer now, dance a little closer tonight, dance a little closer to me, 'cause it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this Five and Dime. One of the boys in Eddie's band took a shine to Rita's hand, so Eddie ran off with the bass man's wife. Oh, but he was back by June, singing a different tune, sporting Miss Rita back by his side. And they'd sing, dance a little closer to me, dance a little closer now, dance a little closer tonight, dance a little closer to me, 'cause it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this Five and Dime. Eddie traveled barroom band till arthritis took his hands. Now he sells insurance on the side. And Rita's got a house to keep, dime store novels of love so sweet. They dance the radio late at night. They sing, dance a little closer to me, dance a little closer now, dance a little closer tonight, dance a little closer to me, 'cause it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this Five and Dime. And on a good note, right? Thank you. Thank you. So, let's see. I do have 3 children, and they are older now, and they're a little bit of a pain in the butt. They do their job very well. But when they were younger, we were sitting around on the floor playing cards, and I have 2 boys and a girl, and my boys started going at it. So I sent them all to the corner, and I went into the bathroom with my guitar, and I came out 5 minutes later with this song. And I don't know, it just kind of came out and flowed, and then we had a good night. So I'll see if I remember it. I'm telling, said the oldest one, as the younger one threw his fist. And I'm telling, said the oldest one, that she walked into it. These last words brought them both to the floor. Just about that time, Daddy walked through the door. He started it, said the oldest one, the out upon his face. I didn't, I, said the youngest one, with his hand still in that fist. These last words brought them both on the floor. Mama shook her head and then told Daddy the scoop. It's been one of those days where the one starts yelling for the other one fades. And don't forget about your darling daughter, the eggs on the floor, they're compliments of her, by the way. How was your day? Long hours, it feels like I'm working for free, and it's taking all my time away from my family. A couple months behind on the mortgage and that car. I tell you, honey, I don't know how we're gonna get by. It's been one of those days where my head starts spinning right into a haze. I try to shake it, but it's no use. The thought keeps coming that I'm coming unglued, yeah. It's one of those days. Daddy takes his shoes off and Mama takes the kids out of their rooms. They sit down for supper and give their thanks to the Lord. And it'll be one of those nights where the troubles fade and the kids are alright. And by the time they lay their heads, their love wipes away the troubles they face. It's one of those days. Thank you. So this next one, I'm just going to do because I like it. Take my love and take it down. Climbing see my reflection in a snow-covered hill, then the landslide brought it down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, I don't know. 'Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you, and time makes us bolder, and children get older, and I'm getting older too. Time makes hold of changing, 'cause I build my life around you, and time makes us bolder, and children get older, and I'm getting older too. Take my love and take it down. You climb a mountain and you turn around, and if you see my reflection in a snow-covered hill, well, maybe landslide brought it down. Thank you. Thanks. I didn't get hit with any tomatoes today. Where's Chris? Are you going to rescue me? Oh, gosh, I'm so unprepared. Which one? No. Now I gotta rack my brain. Oh, see, I usually don't play guitar. Ronald Mickey. All right, let's see. All right, I'll do this one. This is like Herman and Barbara's song, and Chris and Becky's song, and Tim and Brenta's song. And if there's any more couples out there, it's yours too. I can't see. Who? Lori and Tim, yes. And Richard and Peggy. Did I get everybody? All right, I'm going to tune real quick. I need all the help I can get. So all the regulars know all of my jokes, but none of you new people do. So do you ever wonder why you don't see crows dead on the side of the road? Because they always fly in pairs, and there's always one sitting way up in a tree going, caw, 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 caw. Thanks. And then Brian Oxley, he's such a brilliant mind, but he likes simple jokes. So what does the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe. I don't know. They're getting kind of old to me, too.
Love takes the patience of Job. That's what my mama.
Hey, Dan, can I get some light? I'm sorry. I can't see. Thank you. Yeah. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. All right. Hey, you guys asked for it.
Love takes the patience of Job. That's what my mama always said. And faith is the belief in something more than what you know. That's what the good book said. You gotta play the cards you got. Who knows what fate is holding? At times you gotta go without knowing where you're going. That's why I keep on loving you. Keep on loving you. Through the baby, don't leave me, and never will again. And I promise to. I keep on loving you. Lord knows we've had our share of fights, our sleepless nights, and our ups and downs. We've had plenty and then some. Baby, I'm gone, turn around. Sometimes I swear it might be easier to throw in the towel. Someday we're gonna look back, say, look at us now. That's why I keep on loving you. I keep on loving you. Through the baby, don't leave me, and never will again, and I promise to. I keep on loving you. I keep on loving you. Through the I take it back, I didn't mean it like that, and I'd never hurt you. I keep on loving you.
Thank you.
Always remember, if you need help, Rachel's around the corner.
If they got to rely on that, they're in trouble.
Anyway, give her another big applause.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, well, we're going to have one more song, and then I'm going to have you come up. But I've enjoyed the last 4 years, living in Nashville with my grandkids, just far enough away where I could go play with them and go home. So that's been my life for the last 4 years. I usually try to go over every single day at 3 o'clock and play with them until 5 o'clock. That's my daily routine. However, while I'm in Japan, it looks like they're all moving into my house. So I may stay in Japan for a long time. And I think in a year she's going to have another one, but they're trying to pay off a school loan. They figure that's the quickest way. So anyway, the tranquility and peace is all going to be vanishing in a week or so keep me in mind for that. Anyway, we thought before we have Tim come up, we're going to have Dan just do one song so you get a little flavor of some of the stuff he might be doing next Friday. So this is just a little sampler. He says it's a little bit up-tempo, so we're going to change the pace here a little bit. But anyway, have Dan come up for this one song. I'm not sure what he's playing, but I'm sure it'll be good. So anyway, when he plays a couple different instruments, the flugelhorn, the flute, that, and he also plays this EVI. You know, we did the demonstration. It's kind of it basically plays MIDI. It can play anything that a computer sound can create. But he incorporates a lot, and then Don will be singing, and he has some other things. So anyway, that's going to be Friday, which is Good Friday. Unfortunately, we won't have a fish fry per se, but other than that, we should have some great music. So come on out for that. Anyway, so we're going to have up our next guest speaker. See, I'm getting into my business mindset. I'm going to Japan on business. I'm thinking of there will be speaking. He is able to speak. That's always a good sign. Anyway, I know very little about him. However, he was here when we had a guest. Who was it? Sarah Burris. It was last year she came here. And anyway, great performance. Well, he had come to see her perform and like the feel and like the clients we have here, our customers. Anyway, and so he sent me an email and said he'd like to play out here. So we set this up, and he's a great singer, and he can tell you more about all the stuff he's involved in. But welcome, Mr. Tim Buppert. We can add a little extra money if you want to pay more.
What do you think about Dan? I think Dan's a bit of an overachiever. That guy, I mean, I don't know anything about what he was doing, but I do know that the trumpet, you have to blow really hard. And that other thing, whatever it's called, you have to blow real easy. So he switched from one to the other. Okay, I'm going to do one more song here. I came out to see Sarah Burris, and she's a friend of mine and a real hoot, one of those Cajun chicks. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And so I really liked it here, and so I emailed him and said, hey, what about me? I grew up in a little place very similar to this. I think this is one of the few towns that I think my hometown is actually bigger than. Because is there an actual stop sign here? Oh, we got 3. Oh, well, you win. We have one stop sign in my hometown and a yield sign. Last time I was home, they were talking about putting a stop light, and everybody is not happy. So in all seriousness, when I come out here and look at all this memorabilia, I'm reminded of how blessed I am to be able to do music for a living. The history that's gone on and the way these guys are preserving it is really, really something. I'm just amazed. And now I see that Dan plays all these instruments. I'm like, I play drums too, but that's not really even an instrument. That's just like taking out your aggression in a musical way. So in keeping with the being blessed to be a songwriter, I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been in Nashville since '91, and I came just to be a writer. I'd always been a singing drummer my whole life since high school. And I came to Nashville to pursue writing because my then wife did not like me being on the road. So I thought, well, I'll go to Nashville and be a songwriter. How hard can that be, right? Well, found out it's pretty hard, actually. But I got lucky, and I was able to sing, and people started hiring me to sing their demos for them. And so that's how I really met these really, really good writers like Don Schlitz, who wrote The Gambler, I mean, it would have taken me 10 years to get in the same room with Don Schlitz, but he hired me to sing, so I learned. It was like getting paid to go to school every day. And so then I got some success, and, you know, being fast forward 20 years down the road, you know, I like to say that the best thing about being a songwriter is you don't have to get up at any particular time to do it. You just, when I'm done sleeping, that's when I get up. And my brother hates me for this reason, because he's been getting up at 5 o'clock for 25 years. But one morning I did have to get up because I had to go to court. It was just traffic court, nothing major, but I had to be there early, so I set the alarm. When the alarm went off, I hit the snooze. I want another 9 minutes, man. That's all I need. And I love you already. She's into all of it. And so when I said another 9 minutes, I thought, wow, that sounds like a good song title. I wrote it down, and I went and wrote it with a couple of guys, and it got recorded by a group called Yankee Gray. It went to number 11 on the charts. Just like 2 number ones, right? So I'm going to start out and do that one for you right now. 6:30 in the morning, I'm in the middle of the sweetest dream when I hear that alarm clock calling me. I wrestle with the feeling that the day is starting way too soon. I hit the button just to buy a little time, keep you in these arms of mine. For another 9 minutes, let the world stop, steal a few moments from this old clock. This is my dream and I'm gonna stay in it for another 9 minutes. I love the way the sunlight dances on your perfect skin. Girl, I wish this night would never end. But we gotta get moving, baby. We can't eat if we don't get paid. I got us a better idea. Pull up the covers and stay right here for another 9 minutes. Let the world stop, steal a few moments from this old clock. This is my dream and I'm gonna stay in it for another 9 minutes. I hit the button just one more time to keep you in these arms of mine for another 9 minutes. Let the world stop, steal a few moments from this old clock. Another 9 minutes, let the world wait. Who's gonna care if we're a little bit late? This is my dream and I'm gonna stay in it for another 9 minutes. Thank you. Hey, Dan, well, let's face it, I'm not going to be invited back after tonight. We all know that. But if I do, maybe you can play trumpet on that song. Yeah, it needs a little solo in the middle. We'll work something out. Y'all give me a second here. This fancy thing here that allows me to turn me up and down. All right. So yeah, that song went to number 11, and I was very blessed with that deal. Soon after that, the band broke up, so they're no longer with us, so to speak. What happened was the lead singer, he wrote some of the songs too, and for the next record, he wanted to write them all. He didn't want anybody else's songs because you make money that way. Let's face it. So he became such a problem child that they let him go, and then they asked me if I wanted to be the new lead singer in the band. I was like, I've been in bands all my life. There ain't no way you're getting me in that bus. with that group of guys. So I just kept on writing songs. So it sounds like we got a bunch of couples in here, a bunch of lovely couples, and you won't let him sit any closer to you than that? You got two purses. No, you don't have to. No, I'm not judging. I've been told to watch out for y'all. Well, I'm going to do a song that I wrote for a girl a long time ago. You know, when you first meet somebody, I'm guessing y'all been married a little while. Yeah. Still in your home? Oh, correct answer, sir. Well, when you first meet somebody, all you want to do is just like make them happy. Whatever it takes, you're just, constantly trying to find ways to just, you wake up in the morning like, how can I make her smile today? You can't keep it up very long, I tell you that. It's a tough job, so you got to set the bar low, and then you can. Oh, I'm kidding. So I wrote this song for this girl, and she was a songwriter too. And after I said I wrote you a song, and I played it for her, and she was like, she had a critique of the song, how I could make it better. I'm like, I was expecting this, like, maybe tears, or at least a hug or something. She immediately went with how I messed it up. It's called Making Sweetie Smile. I haven't done it in a while, so. My baby says that she don't want for nothing. Oh, but I don't think that's altogether true. 'Cause I know like any other girl, she'd love some diamonds and a sporty little BMW. But me, I try to live a life of leisure, perhaps a touch upon the lazy side. But I turn into a man on a mission when it comes to making Sweetie smile. Yeah, I'll work all week just to make her laugh. I'll make a total fool out of myself. Yeah, I'll sing out in crowded restaurants, dance up on the tabletops, use up all the pride that I have left. Well, they say that you're a rich man if you do the work you love. So I guess that you could say I'm riding high, but I'm sitting on a pile of treasured memories, and my only job is making Sweetie smile. Yeah, I'll work all week just to hear her laugh. I'll even cause myself a little pain. Yeah, I fake falling up the stairs, 'cause I know she won't go anywheres long as I can keep her entertained. Well, I guess that I could make my way without her, but I don't know what I'd do with all my time. 'Cause I spend 37 minutes of each hour just doing all I can. Yeah, I even learned to dance, 'cause I knew that it would make my Sweetie smile. Thank you very much. I played it for her. She said, "Did you say anywheres?" It rhymes. It's it's a poetic license. She was Canadian. So. I've been working on a cold, or working on getting rid of it. I don't know how you say it really. So far, so good. So when I first moved to Nashville, I had all these songs I thought were great, and then it took me about 7 days to find out they were not great. They were okay, but they were not great. So I set out to learn and, meet other writers and, singing songs for these other hit writers, it made a big difference. But what I found was I would write a song that I was certain, this is a hit song for sure. And I would go and I'd play it for a publisher, and they would say, yes, this is a hit song. As a matter of fact, this was a hit song 7 years ago by Alan Jackson or whoever, because the title had already been written. So I was like, man, this is frustrating. You finally think you've found something and find out it's been found already. Of course, then after singing demos for other writers, I've sung probably 9,000 songwriter demos, and there are some titles that I've sung over and over and over. But that's just the nature of it. There's only so many words, There's only so many notes, so many words. So I decided one day, I said, I'm going to write a song that there's no way this song has been written before. There's just no way. I'm going to find the weirdest title. So I started out with really weird things, telephone poles, birds on telephone poles, and weird things. But then I thought, man, you know what would be good if I could write a song that centered around these word problems you have in school, right? Like, if you go to the market and you buy 12 apples and you've got whatever, that sort of thing. I'm like, that nobody has written. Maybe for good reason. I don't know. It's probably not a good idea, but either way, no, it's not going to have been done. So I started thinking about this relationship. So I thought, well, suppose you got a guy that's here, say Nashville. A woman is somewhere else, say Memphis. And her love is decreasing at a certain rate. I'm going with this, don't you? How soon will he have to leave, and how fast will he have to drive to get there before it's too late? Makes sense to me. So I wrote this verse that started something like, I talked to my woman on the phone today. She sounded halfway in love with me. It's been 2 weeks. I had all these numbers in it. And I had been writing with these two songwriters, George Taryn and Don Fremer. They had both had success. And so I took the verse in there to them. I said, the song will be called If a Train Left for Memphis. And I wrote the verse, and Don, who was the lyricist, he was like, I like that. I was like totally shocked, because I had never taken lyrics like that to him, because he's the lyricist. That's what he does. He'd had several number ones. And anyway, so we finished it, and he played it for his publisher, who was Charlie Pride. And he said, I like this song, but I feel like I need to have a calculator handy for that first verse, because it's got so many numbers and so much information in it. Is this microphone in your way? People, I couldn't see his face all night long. That's a heavy mic stand. Hey, while you're up here, no, I'm kidding. Go ahead. You've worked hard. I was gonna have you play, but I don't know. I'd just mess you up next time. So we rewrote the whole song, the first verse. The rest of it was fine, and immediately people started loving it. It got picked up by Lone Star, Diamond Rio. All these people said, yeah, they want to do this song. But they didn't. They go in and they go, yeah, I want to put that song on hold, which means we might record it, but don't play it for anybody else. It's like if you ask a girl out on a date, say to prom, and she will go, well, I'm not 100% sure, but don't ask anybody else until I tell you for sure. And so it was on hold for a lot of people. Lo and behold, Trisha Yearwood recorded it. And I was like, oh, my God, I knew I was good, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. So she recorded it, and she was actually going around town, not her personally, but her people, and they were playing our song for other writers, saying, this is what we're looking for, songs like this. And I'm like, that's a very flattering, and that's you like, man, I heard your song the other day. Trisha Yearwood played it. Well, apparently what they were doing was we like songs like this, but we want one better than this or something, because when her album came out, I look on it and I'm like, my song's not on it anywheres. And so So she recorded it, but what they do is they record more songs than they need, and then they pick through them. And I think the thing is my song was like the first song she recorded, and by the time she got to the end, the new had worn off. I get it. It's, you know, it's like just like a relationship. You'll hear me equate things to relationships a lot. I don't know what that says about me, but so she recorded. The song's been recorded about 10 times by different people. I have made $0 from the song. But I have nice copies of other people's records of it. And then I'll get to the song, but I finally met Trisha Yearwood like 6-7 years later because I sang on one of her records. And a song called There Goes My Baby. I sang backgrounds on it. And it was a great experience. Well, then they called me and they said, Trisha's doing it on the ACM award show in LA, and they'd like you to go and sing with her. I'm like, whoa, hey, that's cool, but I don't think I can hit those high notes live in person. I said, okay, well, you know, maybe we'll do it some other time. I hung up the phone. I went, you're smarter than that. Just say yes and go. So I called him up. Hey, I've been practicing it, and I think I can do it. So I get out there. I'd never met her before. I'm sitting in the lobby waiting. What do I do? I don't know where I'm, you know. I'm from a little town, so I'm in L.A. All of a sudden, here she comes walking by, and I'm like, do I jump up? Do I get in line? What do I do? And then the road manager sees me, goes, oh, Tim, come on. So they all jump in this limo, and I'm like, last man in, poof, jump in the limo. And then I see Trisha kind of jump back like, who is this guy? And then the road manager goes, oh, this is Tim. You know, hey. So she introduces me as the guy that wrote the song that we're going to sing. And I'm like, I didn't write that song. And she had a puzzled look like, well, why are you in the limo again? And I said, well, I sang on the record, and, you know, you wanted me here. And she goes, well, why do I know your name as a songwriter? And I said, well, I wrote a song called If a Train Left for Memphis that you recorded. She goes, oh, I love that song. Not enough, apparently. The song is half as long as the story. Too far west of the Mississippi, and so far north there's a foot of snow. How I wish you could be here with me. I didn't want to, but I had to go. I got the feeling when I hung up that you miss me less and less. Long distance loving ain't enough, so I guess the question is, if a train left from Memphis at 4 in the morning, would 90 miles an hour be fast enough? With 2,000 miles and 6 states to cover, would you still be waiting up? If a train left from Memphis, would it be too late for us? I dropped you cards and sent you flowers, and all the letters there's time to write. I hope my name in the darkest hours is still the last thing on your lips tonight. I gotta make up all the ground that too much distance brings. I'm packing my bags and I'm leaving town. God, I wish these rails were wings. If a train left from Memphis at 4 in the morning, would 90 miles an hour be fast enough? With 2,000 miles and 6 states to cover, would you still be waiting up? If a train left from Memphis, would it be too late for us? That's where the guitar solo goes. If a train left from Memphis at 4 in the morning, would 90 miles an hour be fast enough? With 2,000 miles and 6 states to cover, would you still be waiting up? If a train left from Memphis, would it be too late for us? If a train left from Memphis, would it be too late for us? Whoa, whoa. Thank you. So when we did the little work tape of that, I did just like that. And when I got the Trisha Yearwood version of it, guitar player played. I mean, exactly what I did. And then at the end, she went, whoa, 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 exactly like I did. Man. Hey, just so I won't tell a story for this next one because they get long, I'm going to do a song I didn't write that maybe y'all could help me out. They said y'all like to sing along a little bit and stuff. Everybody knows this song. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you'll see, well, I won't be afraid, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you'll stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. If you're in need, won't you stand by me? If the sky you look upon should ever crumble and fall, and the mountains they should tumble to the sea, well, I won't be afraid, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you'll stand by me. Let me hear you. Well, darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. If you're in need, won't you stand by me? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you'll see, well, I won't be afraid, shed a tear, just as long as you'll stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Got one more in you. Won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me. Whoa, won't you stand by me? You know, one of the big reasons I wanted to come back and play here was because of you guys, but also the sound in this place. They have really spared no expense. I mean, I have played places before where you walk in and some well-meaning gentleman goes, well, there's a speaker, and there's a I think that chord goes in there, and you just do it. You can figure it out. And a half hour later, you just kind of decide not to do it at all, and you just play without electronics. I want to do a newer song for you. This is a small town song. I wrote this song with a guy named Brian Collins from Douglasville, Georgia. And he started bragging about how small his town was, and I'm just kind of like, you ain't gonna win this one, buddy. And he's like, yeah, we got one stoplight, and I said, we got no stoplights. When I was growing up, we had a general store that was much like this one. It was in the curve like this, and that's where you got your gas, your bread, your milk, your meat, cheese, everything. And Mr. Gwaltney was his name. You go in there and you'd hand him the list of what you wanted, and he would go back there and bag it up, hand it to you, and write it down back there somewhere. I don't know how they kept track of it. I know he did keep track of it because when he died, they found something like $100,000 in quarters, silver dollars and quarters. So he was pretty good at keeping track of what people owed him, apparently. So Brian and I were talking about how, you know, you can meet Trisha Yearwood, go to L.A., New York City, wherever you want, but you're still just a little country boy from Chuckatuck, Virginia. It's called Like I Never Really Left. They say you can't go back. Well, I guess there's some truth in those words, but as a matter of fact, one of the lessons I've learned, when you grow up in a small town like I did, it gets buried in your blood and your bones. Keeping your 2 feet firmly on the ground, always knowing how to get home. Whoa, I never really left. It's here inside the heart that's beating in my chest, and that's why wherever I run or how far up this mountain I get, it'll always be just like I never left. Girl, I'm way overdue for a walk down on Main Street with you to where we first met, and where you said I do too, where you kissed me and it felt my whole life change, like somebody turned on a light. Well, I swear on my soul I still feel the same way every time I'm kissing you goodnight. Oh, I never really left. It's here inside the heart that's beating in my chest, and that's why wherever I run or how far up this mountain I get, it'll always be just like I never left. Well, the roots run deep as that old oak tree I climbed up in as a child, staring out across the river, dreaming about getting to the other side. Oh, I never really left. It's here inside the heart that's beating in my chest, and that's why wherever I run or how far up this mountain I get, yeah, wherever I lay my head, it'll always be just like I never left. Yeah, it'll always be just like I never left. Thank you. When I play that song back in my hometown, they go, I know what oak tree you're talking about. I didn't. I made that part up. We had mostly pine trees. I miss pine trees. You don't have many pine trees around here. It's all hackberries. My backyard is just eat up with hackberries, and I can't really warm up to them. Well, this next song I'm going to do for you is song changed my life. In I guess in about 95 or 6 was when Trisha Yearwood recorded the other song that, as we know, sad ending to that one. But right around that time, I had a lot of things going on. Tim McGraw had put a song on hold, but he did not take me to the prom. But he had this song he loved and held on to it for quite a while. And Trisha had recorded the other song, and I had another song on hold. And then I had this song that I was really proud of, and we were pitching it all over town. And we had pitched it to all the big names. John Michael Montgomery and Diamond Rio were real hot at the time. And they had held it for a minute and wasn't right for them. Brian White was a big artist at the time. So we kind of run through all the big names, and we were kind of down to the B artists, you know, which is fine. You catch, I mean, all of them were B artists at one time, Garth, everybody. And so one day, this woman that was helping me pitch my songs called me and said, "Hey, Kevin Sharp put She Sure Taking It Well," is the name of the song, put She Sure Taking It Well on hold. I'm like, awesome, who's Kevin Sharp? You know, he's a good-looking cowboy type, you know, what's his deal, you know, great singer, whatever. Well, not really, he's bald-headed, which I had hair at the time, so we didn't share the kindred thing. I had a mullet, to be more precise, and a mustache, too, and like a regular, go on my Facebook page, there's pictures on there. And I said, well, you know, what's his deal? Well, he was a cancer survivor, and that's why he lost his hair. He was cancer, he had bone cancer, it was terminal. He went to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. His wish was to meet David Foster, who was this legendary record producer, had produced Dionne Warwick in Chicago and Whitney Houston, all these big names. And then he was expected to not make it too much longer after that. Well, he went into remission 2 years later. He's cancer-free, and he calls up David Foster and goes, "Hey, David, this is Kevin Sharp." If we had some reverb on that right then, it would have been cool, wouldn't it? And Dave was like fully expected that he had passed. And he goes, "Wow." And he said, yeah, I'm cancer-free, and I've been writing all these songs, and I'd like you to listen to them. And he did. And he said, "You know, Kevin, I think you're more of a country artist than a pop artist." So he started a record label just for Kevin Sharp, to be started a country label. And so this was his very first album, and my co-writers who were expecting the big fish were kind of mad at me for letting the song get to the new up-and-coming artists, because it's like, man, we just gave it away. We're not going to make any money on this guy. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I'm doing the best I can. I'm just trying to get our songs recorded. Well, Kevin's first single came out, went to #1, stayed there for 4 weeks. All of a sudden, everybody's pretty happy. That wasn't my song. Did I say that? But I applauded as well. So, like I said, my song is called She Sure Taking It Well. They said, hey, we're going to release She Sure Taking It Well as the second single, which they give it to radio. I don't know how much you guys know about the music business. Sometimes people are like, I mean, you could be a hit songwriter for all I know. I mean, I'm sure there's some out here. Is Dallas Frazier from here? I see his plaques in there. I'm sure there's a bunch of them grew up around here. So our song goes to #1. It didn't stay there 4 weeks, but it stayed there 1 week. Long enough, I can say I'm a #1 hit songwriter. Yep. Kevin Sharp ended up passing away about 2 years ago from his liver failed from he had been on so much medication over the years that his liver just gave out. And then our lyricist, who was a lyricist on Every Train Left for Memphis, he passed away a couple of years ago too. He was older, way older than me, and so just as sad. But he already lived 3 lifetimes by the time I met him. I mean, stories I could tell about that guy. Don Fremer is his name. Well, I come into Don and George with this song idea. She Sure Taking It Well, and all I had was this little melody. She's sure taking That's all I got, boys. So I like that. So George and I finished the rest of the music and most of the chorus lyrics. And then George and I said, well, Don, we're going to lunch. We'll see you when we get back. That's kind of the way we always did it, right? We'd come back after lunch, and there'd be like piles of balled up paper laying on the floor, and Don would be sweating. And we go, what do you got, Don? And comes back, and he reads these lyrics, and I'm like, man, that's great. I said, that one line, though, the first line of the second verse was, there go all of my dreams melting like sugar in the rain. I thought, it's just a little, like, too sweet or too sappy or something. And I'm like, what do you think, George? And George is kind of like just kind of avoiding the whole subject, and because he'd been there before. And I look over, and Don is just pointing to the gold records on the walls. I went, oh, yes, sir, Mr. Frimmer. I see how this goes, okay? So the line stayed in there, obviously, and it's the line. If anybody ever says anything about a particular line, it's like, oh, God, I love that sugar in the rain line. I'm like, yeah, man, great line. So here it goes. So this is a heartbreak song, and I was divorced. This was a #1 song in '97, and I was divorced in '02. So people say, oh, is that about your divorce? I go, no. I said, I write songs and then make them come true. Now, apparently what happens when you have some success and you make some money, you have more options, you know, whatever. And she explored her options, I guess. They released this song on Valentine's Day for some reason. We decided to try going our own way for a while and give each other some space. I never dreamed it would be miles. Well, I thought she would cry while she was packing up. I guess something isn't wrong enough. She's sure taking it well, taking my heart and my soul. Well, you'd think I wasn't here, falling apart, watching her go. If she knows it's killing me, you couldn't look at her and tell. My heart's breaking, she's sure taking it well. There go all of my dreams, melting like sugar in the rain. Oh, I would love to believe she's only smiling through the pain. But all these tears are mine. Oh, shouldn't she be sad after losing everything we had? She's sure taking it well, taking my heart and my soul. Oh, you'd think I wasn't here, falling apart, watching her go. Well, if she knows it's killing me, oh, you couldn't look at her and tell. My heart's breaking, and she's sure taking it well. Oh, my heart's breaking, and she's sure taking it well. Oh, yes, she is. She's sure taking it well. They must pay you to come. cold medicine's kicking in now and starting to dry me out. Well, they told me to play till about 8:30. 8:26. Just cut me off whenever you want me to quit, I guess. Well, I got 2 more good songs. No, I got a couple. I play in a band called, before I forget, I do this thing at the Country Music Hall of Fame called Words and Music. And I've been doing it for about 15 years. We, school kids write song lyrics and send them in to the Country Music Hall of Fame. And then the school kids will book a tour of the museum, and the museum will book a songwriter. They'll give us the song lyrics, and we'll put music to them. We don't put music to all of them. Usually I'll get like 25 or so, and I usually pick 5 or 6 because that's all we can get done in an hour. And some incredible songs have come through there. I mean, there's little 6-year-old girls singing about mommy and daddy breaking up, and it just tears your heart out. And then there's, songs that are just funny and fun. And so 4 years ago, there was a 4th grader, and his name is Drew, right? Is that right? Drew was, what school did you go to? Back then? Gower, okay, right. So I did his song lyric, and it was, what was it called again? Schmitty, right? Schmitty was a bad dog. And you want to stand up, Drew? He's now, he's gone on to become quite a musician. He's going to go try to figure out how to be a musician for the rest of his life. And I want to apologize to his mom if I had anything to do with that. She says I did, but I tell you, I really can't express how blessed I feel to be able to do music for a living. I still can't believe it sometimes because I'm 58, almost 59 years old. I started playing drums when I was 8. Thank you. I feel like a baby sometimes. I act like one too. But when I was 8, my brother had his 13th birthday party, and they had a band. And my dad let me go up to the party for a little bit before I went to bed. It was up above the firehouse where we had all our Cub Scout meetings and all that. So I remember standing at the top of the steps and watching this band called the Deer Hearts. And the girls were just like out of control over this band. And I was like, ding! I went home and I said, Daddy, I need a set of drums for Christmas, and that's all I want. And I started playing them, and I've been playing them ever since. I play in 6 different bands in Nashville, and it's really, I still can't believe it. I'm going to do a song that I wrote for one of those bands. One of the bands I'm in is called Vinyl Radio. And our goal when we put this band together was it was going to be the band we all wanted to be in when we were teenagers, okay? And we were going to do all these songs from the 70s. And when people came to see us, we were going to try to take them back to their childhoods. We have these big blown-up album covers of albums, from the 70s, and they're hanging on the wall. We have a slideshow that shows pictures of the actual artists, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, whoever. We have big, tall lava lamps. And it's just so much fun. And we decided to try to write some songs because people kept saying, you guys need some CDs. And so we can't make a CD of a 70s song that, because we're not going to do it any better than Led Zeppelin did it. You know what I mean? So we started writing some songs in hopes that they would be sort of in the style of the 70s. And I wanted to write a song that had lots of references to 70s songs, and it kind of talked about being a kid and listening to you dropping a needle on that record, man. I still have like about 1,500 albums at home. And I met a guy the other day that was looking at him, and he's like, do you play both sides? I said, you better just get out of here right now, mister. So this song is called Vinyl on the Radio. Remember when the world moved a little bit slower, and the DJ wouldn't talk over the whole intro. Yeah, he'd drop another needle on a brand new record, and you couldn't help but wonder if your friends all heard it. Well, I feel that way every time I'm near you, like a song I long to hear you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're like vinyl on the radio. Whoa, whoa, you're like vinyl on the radio. Yeah, you're warm and sweet and you got that passion. Oh, and girl, you sure don't go out of fashion. Yeah, you're groovy like a good old Seeger song, making everybody wanna sing along. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're like vinyl on the radio. Whoa, whoa, you're like vinyl on the radio. You make me feel fine like a summer breeze, some makings of a mighty good memory. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're like vinyl on the radio. Whoa, whoa, girl, you're like vinyl on the radio. Whoa, whoa, you're like vinyl on the radio, radio. Whoa, whoa, you're like vinyl on the radio, radio. Bless your hearts. I'm gonna do one more song. Thank you all so much for having me, and I have a few CDs out there. When I get done, when I say a few, I don't mean a few different ones. I have a few, the same, about that many left. I'm getting ready to do another one, and so that's all I have left. But anyway, come on out, say hello. And this song I wrote after She's Sure Taking It Well was a hit. You know, you can kind of, when you're a hit songwriter, you can kind of, as they say, trade on that for like a few years, you know, because like when you first get it recorded, you're like, oh, I hear you got a big song recorded, and then album comes out, oh, I saw your name on the thing, and like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's a good thing about having a last name Buppert. It's like there's no other. When the video came on CMT and it said Buppert, everybody was like, whoa, that's him. He done wrote him a song. And then the song's on the radio, and it's big hit. And then after that, and they start having award shows. You get an award. I got a nice award for that thing. Then the money starts coming in. It takes about 9 months to a year or so before the real money starts to come in. And then that's kind of about it. After that, it's like, what have you done for me lately? But you can still, like, you go out and you play the song somewhere, and people will come up to you, oh, God, that's just, man, that summer, that was just one of my favorite songs. And about, see, that was 97, about 2000 or 99, something like that. I was out on this houseboat on Percy Priest Lake, a bunch of songwriters, and so everybody's passing the guitar around. Well, the guy hands me the guitar and goes, here, Tim, play She's Sure Taking It Well. And as I start to play it, I hear this girl go, yeah, like he really wrote that. I mean, when I'm in a bathing suit I don't look like I'm capable of much. I'll give her that, but he wouldn't have said that if I didn't write it. So, so I started playing it, and I look over there. This girl is with another friend of mine. I look, and this girl is just like crying. She's just crying her eyes out. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And like I said, I wrote it with 2 other songwriters, but I was the only one there, so that's all that really mattered. And so she comes up to me and she goes, I can't even believe I'm meeting the songwriter that wrote that song. And I'm like, yep, that's me. And she said that was my favorite song in high school. And I'm like, and she was like, she looked at me like I was Elvis or something. I mean, really, I walked around there going, wow, that's powerful. I could not have dealt with that. I couldn't deal with that like every day, because nobody could. I'd be just like Elvis. I'd just hold up in my jungle room eating peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches, and I can't go out there. They're all over me. So I was telling people about it, and I told my mom about it, of course, and she goes, oh, honey, you are like Elvis. I said, so I wrote a song called One Elvis Moment. It's on my CD out there, if you based on a true story. We're out on a houseboat one 4th of July, half a dozen choice hotties and a few of us guys. We got out the guitars like we do in this town and played hit after hit as we passed it around. Well, when it was my turn, I said, what the hell, I'll do my biggest hit. She's sure taking it well. Oh, when I started the intro, I heard from the back row some cute little thing say, yeah, right, like he really wrote that song. Well, there was young Mary, not yet 25. Yeah, when that song was out, she was learning to drive. She just lost her boyfriend and broken his heart. And when I got to the chorus, she fell all apart. Well, that was my one Elvis moment, my day in the sun. I was so much more cooler than anyone. Yes, she was sitting there crying with her head in her hands. I was stuck with a smile that said, now who's the man? Well, if I could relive just one day of my life, it'd be that one Elvis moment of mine. Well, when I finished singing, she said through her tears, you wrote all those lyrics I've loved all these years. Well, I looked at her shyly and I said, thank you kindly. Well, hell, I wrote the whole melody too. Well, a little while later, I thought I should date her. So I said, maybe we could do dinner sometime. She said, that's real sweet, but I'm just 23. And hey, dude, ain't you like 45? Guess you only get one Elvis moment, one day in the sun, when you're so much more cooler than anyone. Yes, she was sitting there crying, or with her head in her hands. I was stuck with a smile that said, now who's the man? Well, if I could relive just one day of my life, it'd be that one Elvis moment of mine. Yeah, she was sitting there crying with her head in her hand. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate it so much. You guys have been awesome. And y'all keep supporting this place. It's a really unique and wonderful, wonderful place, as you know. Thanks to all my friends that came out and new friends. And y'all be safe going out there. The weather's, oh, the weather outside. Thank you so much.